Let's get straight to the point, shall we? We all have that one drawer. You know the one. It's a chaotic graveyard of important-looking documents, old birthday cards, and a single mysterious battery. Somewhere in that paper jungle lurks a number that the German state adores more than punctuality itself. The tax identification number, or as we lovingly call it, the Steuer-ID. But how many digits does this mythical beast actually have? Is it 7, like the number of dwarves? 9, like a cat's lives? Or is it a ridiculously long number that you could use as a Wi-Fi password? The suspense is almost too much to bear, isn't it? It feels like a quiz show where the grand prize is simply being able to file your taxes correctly. The answer, my friends, is less dramatic, but infinitely more important than you might think. Drumroll, please. The German Steuer-ID has exactly 11 digits. Not 10, not 12. 11. It's a prime number, which feels appropriate for something so uniquely significant. Think of it as the secret handshake for entering the exclusive club of German taxpayers. It's your personal, unchangeable, lifelong VIP code for the Finanzamt. This 11-digit wonder is assigned to you once and stays with you forever, from the cradle to the grave. It's more loyal than some pets and certainly less demanding. It doesn't need to be fed or walked. It just needs to be known. Now, you might be wondering what secrets these 11 digits hold. Do they encode your date of birth? Your shoe size? Your secret preference for pineapple on pizza? I have good news for all the conspiracy theorists and data protection enthusiasts out there. They reveal absolutely nothing about you. The number is a randomly generated sequence. It's deliberately designed to be meaningless on its own, a bit like some modern art. This ensures that no one can look at your Steuer-ID and deduce any personal information. It's just a unique identifier, a faceless code that links you, and only you, to your tax records. So you can rest easy. Your personal data is safe. Why is this so crucial? Because this number is the key to a streamlined, digitized, and theoretically less painful communication with the tax authorities. Before the Steuer-ID, it was a bit like the Wild West. People moved, got new tax offices, and were assigned new numbers, leading to confusion and mountains of paperwork. The 11-digit ID was introduced to create a single, unified system. It's the one number to rule them all, the master key that unlocks every door in the grand castle of German bureaucracy. So, remember, 11 digits. Burn it into your memory, write it on your hand, or get a very niche tattoo. Whatever it takes. 2008. A simpler time. Germany was still basking in the afterglow of the Sommermärchen World Cup, the first iPhone was just starting to become a thing, and the German government had a brilliant idea. They decided to give every single resident a special gift, something that would last a lifetime. No, not a voucher for a free pretzel, but something far more practical. The tax identification number. This nationwide rollout was a monumental undertaking. The Federal Central Tax Office, or Bundeszentralamt für Steuern, sent out millions of letters, each containing the precious 11-digit number. It was like a nationwide lottery, except everyone won, and the prize was a permanent administrative identity. The reason for this grand gesture was simple: modernization. The old system, with its ever-changing local tax numbers, was about as efficient as trying to herd cats. Every time you moved to a new city, you got a new tax number. It was a recipe for chaos, lost files, and administrative headaches. The government wanted a bürgerfreundlich, a citizen-friendly solution. The Steuer-ID was born out of the desire to simplify everything. It's a permanent fixture in your life. Whether you move from Hamburg to Munich, change your name, or decide to become a professional yodeler in the Alps, your Steuer-ID remains steadfastly the same. It's the one constant in an ever-changing world. So this number is your lifelong companion. It's assigned to newborns shortly after birth and accompanies them through their entire life. Think about it. This number will know you longer than your first-grade teacher, your teenage crush, and maybe even that ficus tree you're struggling to keep alive. It's a bit romantic, in a very German administrative sort of way. It doesn't judge, It doesn't complain, it just is. A silent, 11-digit witness to your entire financial life story. It's the bureaucratic equivalent of a soulmate, destined to be with you until your very last tax return. And possibly even beyond, for any posthumous tax matters. This permanence is its greatest strength. It allows for a seamless exchange of data between different authorities. Your employer, your health insurance, the pension fund, and the Family Benefits Office can all use this single number to correctly identify you. This prevents mix-ups and ensures that payments and contributions are credited to the right person. It's the central pillar of a system designed to be more efficient and less prone to error. So, when you look at those 11 digits, don't just see a random number. See a piece of German engineering, a testament to the quest for order and simplicity in a complex world. And be glad you don't have to get a new one every time you move. Now that we've established our deep, personal connection to this 11-digit code, let's talk about its social life. And believe me, your Steuer-ID is more popular than a celebrity at a film premiere. It gets invited to all the important parties. The most common occasion you'll need it for is starting a new job. On your first day, right after you've figured out where the coffee machine is, your new employer will ask for your Steuer-ID. They need it to correctly calculate and pay your income tax and social security contributions. Without it, you'll be placed in the highest tax bracket, which is about as pleasant as a root canal. But its career doesn't end there. The Steuer-ID is the star of the show when it comes to your annual tax return, or Steuererklärung. This is its moment to shine. When you file your return, whether online via Elster or on paper, the Steuer-ID is the first thing you need to provide. It's the unique identifier that tells the Finanzamt, "Hello, it's me. The person who spent a questionable amount on office supplies last year." It ensures that your return is processed correctly and any potential refund finds its way back to your bank account. Forgetting it is like sending a letter without an address. It's not going to get where it needs to go. The fun continues. Are you planning to have children? Congratulations! When you apply for child benefit or Kindergeld, you'll need not only your own Steuer-ID but also the one for your child. Yes, even tiny babies have their own tax ID. It's usually sent to you by mail a few weeks after the birth is registered. Another major event where your ID is required is opening a new bank account or a securities account. Since 2018, banks are legally required to record the Steuer-ID of all their customers, to automatically report capital gains tax to the authorities. It's part of a system to prevent tax evasion, making sure everyone pays their fair share. The list goes on. Applying for certain government benefits, dealing with pension insurance, or setting up a private retirement plan like Erste Rente will all require you to present your trusty 11-digit number. It's also needed for things like receiving unemployment benefits or sickness benefits. Essentially, anytime money from the state is involved, or when financial data needs to be officially recorded, your Steuer-ID will be front and center. It's the master key that connects all the dots of your financial life in Germany. So, treat it with the respect it deserves. It's doing a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes. Welcome to the main event of German bureaucratic confusion. The epic battle of Steuer-ID versus Steuernummer. For many, these two terms are as interchangeable as ketchup and catsup. But in the eyes of the Finanzamt, they are as different as a poodle and a polar bear. Getting them mixed up can lead to delays, confusion, and, honestly, a general feeling of wanting to move to a deserted island. So let's clear this up once and for all with the clarity of a freshly cleaned window. It's actually quite simple when you break it down. Think of it this way, you have one name, but you might have many different nicknames depending on who you're with. The Steuer-ID, or Steueridentifikationsnummer, is your name. It's permanent, it's for life, it's the 11-digit number we've been celebrating. It was given to you by the federal government, and it identifies you as a person, a unique human being, throughout Germany. It doesn't care where you live or what you do for a living. It's your federal identity. It's the James Bond of tax numbers, sleek, universal, and always the same. It will never change, No matter how many times you move, get married, or even change your career from accountant to lion tamer, it's your one and only. The Steuernummer, or tax number on the other hand, is your nickname. It's assigned by your local tax office, the Finanzamt. This number is not for you as a person, but for the case you represent at that specific office. If you are a standard employee, you might not even have a separate Steuernummer anymore, as the ID is often sufficient. But if you are self-employed, run a business, or are married, and file taxes jointly, you will definitely have one. And here's the crucial part. If you move to a new city and fall under the jurisdiction of a different Finanzamt, you will be assigned a new Steuernummer. It's tied to the office, not to you. The format is also different. While the Steuer-ID always has 11 digits, the Steuernummer has a more complex structure of 10 to 13 digits, often separated by slashes, which varies from state to state. It's the local, slightly more complicated cousin of the sleek modern Steuer-ID. So, the key takeaway is this. The Steuer-ID is about who you are, and the Steuernummer is about what you are doing, like running a business in Berlin Mitte. When in doubt, most forms for standard employees today will ask for the Steuer-ID. Always double-check which number is being requested to avoid sending your important documents on a wild goose chase through the German tax system. So, you've been convinced. You understand the profound, life-altering importance of your 11-digit companion. But a cold sweat breaks out on your brow as you realize you have no idea where it is. Did you file it under T for tax, I for important, or maybe M for miscellaneous paperwork I will definitely sort out later? Do not panic. This is not a disaster. Finding your Steuer-ID is usually easier than finding a matching pair of socks. The first and most obvious place to look is the original letter you received from the Federal Central Tax Office, or Bundeszentralamt für Steuern, back in 2008, or whenever you were first registered in Germany. If that letter has long since vanished into the aforementioned drawer of doom, there are other places to check. Your annual income tax statement, the Lohnsteuerbescheinigung, which you receive from your employer at the end of each year, prominently features your Steuer-ID. It's usually located in the top left section. Another excellent source is any tax assessment notice, or Steuerbescheid, you have received from the Finanzamt after filing a tax return. The ID is always printed on these documents as a primary identifier. Basically, any official document related to your income tax is a potential treasure map leading to your 11-digit prize. But what if you're new to the country, have never worked, or have performed a truly spectacular cleaning session and thrown away every single piece of paper you own? Still no reason to despair. The German government has a plan for this. You cannot simply call and ask for it over the phone for security reasons. Instead, you can request it online. The Federal Central Tax Office has a simple form on its website where you can enter your personal details, your name, address, and date of birth. After they verify your identity, they will send your Steuer-ID to your registered address by postal mail. This can take a few weeks, so don't leave it until the last minute. Once you have found or received your number, guard it like a precious jewel. My practical tip: don't just leave it on a random piece of paper. Create a secure digital note on your phone or computer. Or write it down in a notebook where you keep other important information. When you need to provide it, double-check that you have copied all 11 digits correctly. A single wrong number can cause delays and complications. Taking a moment to find, save, and correctly use your Steuer-ID is a small act of self-care. It's your personal contribution to a smoother, less stressful relationship with the wonderful world of German bureaucracy. Go on, find your number. It's waiting for you.